Can Simone and Lando relationship ever be repaired? Because you know that brother right there is hurt. He's feeling some type of way about her decision. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Lawrence Report. Tonight's broadcast, we're discussing episode 2 of All American Homecoming, and we have got to get into this relationship saga between Lando and Simone. But before we get started, it'd be greatly appreciate if you guys could hit that subscribe button, like, and please do not forget to comment. Let's get into All American Homecoming. This tea, as they say, is piping hot. Now, poor Lando. Poor Lando. Lando is feeling some type of way in this episode right here. And I completely understand how he is feeling. You know, Simone did end up making her decision. She chose Damien, right? So now she is finally coming face to face with Lando. It's been a long time coming for this to happen right here, right? And it turns out one of her KEK sisters is actually talking to Lando, right? And we end up meeting the sister and Lando, and sister's like, "Oh, so how y'all know each other?" And Lando's like, "Well, Simone used to date one of my teammates." Now, in the back of my mind, I'm like, "So Lando, you lying to the girl that you were allegedly talking to? Just a couple months ago, you and Simone was in the campus student living apartment. Y'all was kicking it, y'all was smashing, but you up here lying to this potential girl." Anyway, Simone felt some type of way about that because I think she didn't really know how they was going to address it either with her KEK sister. And when they finally came face to face, it was not pretty at all. And this right here was a genius move by Simone, right? Because she asked Lando, well, basically, she set it up where her and Lando would tag team on this voter registration drive, right? Because that would give her the opportunity to talk to Lando once and for all about the decision, about everything that's going on with her, how she still wants her friend back, right? So kudos to Simone. Very smart, very calculated move right there by her. Because at the end of the day, Simone just really wants her friend back. That's basically what she said, right? But for Lando, he can't get over the fact that, you were sleeping around with my teammate, aka Damien, and you chose him over me. So I can't be your friend. I'm sorry. I'm hurt as a man, and we just can't be friends right now. And she even said, "Well, you act like what we had was basic," but he's like, "You know what? It don't even matter. It's in the review. The past is the past." So I can understand where Lando was coming from, and it's obvious that he deeply cared about Simone. Like, this brother is hurt. Like, whenever you're going through a relationship, situationship, whatever you want to call it, what they had, the love was there. I think the love was there for both of them. But at the end of the day, Simone did have to make that decision, and it was not Lando. And Lando felt some type of way. And we know the history that Simone and Damien have going way back to season 1 to present day. And at the same time, I can understand where Simone is coming from because of the history that she has with Damon, actually. And the thing about Lando, apparently he has a thing where he just can't be friends with exes. So I'm assuming he just cuts them off, right? But again, Simone said that he said you need to make a decision, and she said that's what she's gonna go with. So he even was like, "Well, I guess you live with your head and not your heart, right?" But she's like, "That's not the case, actually." But I know, I already know, if you've been watching All American, possibly, this is my prediction, possibly by episode 5, we're going to see them, Lando and Simone, together. That's just my prediction. I think it's going to be a slow burn, but that's just my prediction. I could be wrong. It could be later on in the season, but I expect them to get back together very, very soon. So my question for y'all, could y'all still be friends with someone that broke your heart tremendously? Could you still be friends with somebody like that? Let me know down in the comments. We gotta get to my boy JR. Now, my boy JR is going through it. He wants to revive this baseball team. Like, he's like basically baseball legacy when it comes to the team. And not only that, but also I believe he was I can't remember if he was a KEK legacy as well. I can't remember if his people, like if his father and all of them came before him, if they were members of KEK. But whatever the case may be, those two things help run JR, right? And you know, JR has been doing this whole situation with these meds, and you got his girl there, Gabby, right? She wants to make sure he's good with his meds. And you know, he's been taking his meds. He even says now that I'm healthy. You know, I'm healthy. And this, I hated this part right here. You know, he needed a way to escape Gabby, right? Because she's been on his case about these meds. And he actually goes to see his homies at KEK. You know, he used to be a former KEK brother. Things happen, right? But Lando was a snake. And I'm going to tell you why. Because JR asked Lando, like, yo, I need you to help me to revive the baseball team, right? But at the same time, Lando went behind JR's back and was like, listen, we can't have him kicking it here with us. He's no longer a part of KEK. He's not like an actual, he's a former brother, but we can't have him unless he's like on the sideline with us, like unless he's one of us actually. He's an ex-member. I'm like, yo, Lando, you're a low down dirty dog for that one right there. But I get it. I get it. When you're in a fraternity, you know, when you're doing certain events, you kind of want your brothers literally to be around you, not the outsiders per se, right? But you know, that's how that went down right there. And JR was fed up. JR was fed up when it was finally, whenever Cam, you know, he ended up spilling the tea about JR reviving this baseball team. Oh my God. Gabby went off. Gabby went off. Like, even whenever they was making out, he was like, listen, you ain't gotta always ask me about my meds. Like, I'm good, I'm healed. Like, and she was like, well, listen, if you're choosing baseball over me, you know, I love you, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Because at the end of the day, I was the one that was calling 911. I was the one that was trying to revive you. So I felt bad for JR. But, you know, they end up, in this season right here, they end up having him talk to Keisha a lot. So I heard y'all in the comments and now social media, y'all saying, do you think they're going to ship Keisha and JR? No, it's not going to happen. I think the way the writers got it set up, they're using Keisha and JR as outlets to each other. That's the only way I can explain it, right? But I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him because baseball and KEK was the two things that he loved the most. And both of them are completely taken away. He's trying his best to at least get one or the other. Either it's going to be baseball or KEK. I don't know if he still can get both, but it looks like he's heading towards trying to revive baseball. Now, you know, for any of us that have been off to college, right? You have your friends, so you're like, yo, it'd be dope if we lived together. But there's an old saying that says, you really don't know somebody truly until you live with them. We're seeing that with Keisha, Nate, and Simone right now. Keisha has a bad habit of always leaving her shoes out in the middle of the floor. And a lot of times you have those type of issues and discussions with your roommates, right? A lot of times roommates don't wash dishes the way they're supposed to, right? They'll leave their clothes everywhere, right? And it seemed like Nate and Simone was absolutely fed up with Cam always being at the house, right? And speaking of Nate, you know, he's going through a transition this episode too. You know, he says he missed Dr. P. He's trying to fill the shoes for the rest of the crew. Like, he's trying to step up to be Dr. P's replacement. But at the end of the day, they just need Nate to be Nate, right? But living with other people, it's not easy. It's not easy. So they end up having this house meeting. Nate and Simone and Keisha, they end up calling each other out, basically. It's like, you leaving shoes here, Cam is here, you washing dishes with food still in the plates and putting them on the counter. It's not an easy thing, y'all. It's not easy to live with other people. So I always tell people, whenever you go off to college, get you one roommate, just one. You don't need two. Do not do a 4-bedroom. Trust me, I know that is the worst mistake ever. But yeah, so I love that dynamic between those three right there, trying to figure out how can we coexist, all of us together. It's going to be very interesting seeing when is Simone and Lando going to get back together, because at any given point, I expect Damien from DR to appear. I'm assuming maybe later on in some episodes that he will appear from being back in the DR. We just gonna have to see. We just gonna have to see. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for tuning in to the Lawrence Report.